Every week or so, the internet finds a new obsession, a meme, a picture, a viral trend that completely takes over your feed. Most people just watch it happen, but I've been trading those trends, and I've made over 6 figures doing it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's risky. Some of these coins have printed me massive gains. Others die in hours or never take off. I've had massive wins, but I've also taken losses too. The difference is though, I've created a system for myself to spot trends early and mental models to know when it's time to get out. Because trading memes is really just trading attention. And if you could learn how to trade and read attention, you can literally profit from the internet's next obsession. And the crazy part is, I don't use some fancy setup or a big computer rig. I literally just do everything from my phone using the Hype app. I use the Hype app to buy new coins the second they launch, Hype wallet tracker to see what the top traders are buying, and the Hype news to skim what's going viral in real time. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I do it, the tools I use, and my personal mental models. So let's get into it.
None of this is financial advice.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Ravi, and I'm going to walk you guys through what trading trends means and how to make money trading meme coins. And I'm just gonna walk you through all of my learnings, the tools I use, and all that. So yeah, cool. So before we get started, these are some of my P&Ls, particularly around internet trends. So Italian brain rot was earlier this year. It was all over my Instagram reels. I made around 50K on that. 6-7 coin is fairly recent. Took off during the summer of 2025, made around 22K. Ice bucket challenge was also earlier in the year from what I remember. It was like back in May or June of this year. Morning routine also was earlier in this year. So yeah, like these are all trends that went semi-viral or very viral either on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, and kind of permeated somewhat of mainstream culture. And yeah, you could make money trading these trends by being very early to them. My P&Ls are a lot higher because I do play with more money and more size. So you're not gonna really see these crazy of outcomes unless you're extremely early, which we'll cover later in the video on what early actually means. Remember, meme coins are also extremely risky. You also can lose money, right? If you buy too late or don't buy properly or sell too late. I haven't always made money trading trends. I've also have lost massively. Just know that like everyone always shows you the wins, but there's also losses that come with this. It's all about like practicing and repetition to get better at these things. Meme coins to me is very skill based. Remember, never put in more money than you're not comfortable losing. Especially with meme coins, these things are very volatile. They can go to zero. So before we jump into exactly like my knowledge dump, these are the tools I use and what I think you might need. Also, like disclaimer, I have a trading app that I built personally for myself. It's like very focused on meme coin trading. It's a meme coin trading app. We let you buy things as soon as they're created. So you can use whatever tools you want to use. This is what I personally use. I have only used my app to trade. So yeah, first thing is like you need to have some sort of mobile trading app or some desktop website you want to use. We also have a wallet tracker. It's a tool that I use all the time. Pretty much what this lets you do is lets you follow the top traders, and you're able to get alerts whenever top traders you follow are buying things. And this makes it super easy to just kind of like stay on top of what's happening. I know I'm shilling our app a bunch, but again, like it is a very useful tool. We write articles in the app every single day. Whenever we do see an internet trend that's going viral, we write about it. The way we're able to write about it so fast is because we literally have people that just like scroll TikTok, Instagram, and we're seeing what's happening. We'll try to like synthesize any sort of viral trend that we see and put that into an article for you to like digest and make your own decisions on. Then Twitter is a must-have app for trading meme coins. A lot of coins are linked to tweets or memes that exist on Twitter. It's important to understand crypto Twitter culture. TikTok and Reels, like just like be yourself, use Instagram Reels, use TikTok the way you normally do, like brain rot or whatever. Just be culturally, you have to be very culturally aware if you want to be trading trends. And then also, last thing is I really recommend a friend group that will trade with you. I know there's like paid trading groups online or trading groups online, but yeah, having a friend group is great because you can like bounce ideas off of each other. Okay, so trading memes, like what does the idea of meme coins mean? Always keep this in your head, but trading memes is trading attention. Meme coins are attention markets. Every single tweet, every single thing on the internet at this point has a coin associated to it. When I say trading memes, you go trading attention. This means that you, for the first time, are able to actually bet on trends and attention. If something is going to get more attention at a faster rate, the price likely is going to go up. Very few memes can sustain attention for days, let alone weeks or months. So that means that these coins are going to be extremely volatile, just how the news cycles and the trends are super in and out within like a few days or even a few hours or even less. So you have to really think like how long will these trends hold for? How long will something go viral for? Whenever you're like thinking about buying into a trend or not. And this means that very few coins are actually worth holding. Another way to think about like why meme coins are trading attention and why like attention is so important is because the only way the price of a coin goes up is if there's more buyers than there are sellers. The only reason why more people are going to buy these coins is because they think that someone else is going to buy on top of them. That's the only reason why you would buy something. So what would cause someone to buy more if there's more attention on it? So that's why we have this like attention market structure with meme coins. So again, like mental model is always meme coins are attention markets, especially if it's for trends. This means you're betting on virality and how early you are to a trend. So yeah, like always think where you are in this attention curve. Are you at the start of the attention cycle? Or at the viral moment? Are you at peak virality? Is there more viral upside? Where are we in this whole attention curve? Also, just remember, like very rarely do coins go to a $10 million market cap, let alone a $100 million market cap. In the Hype app, there is a section for all the top meme coins, and you'll see that like barely any of them have sustained past the $100 million market cap. So just know that like that is super rare. That won't usually happen, and don't be fooled by thinking that will happen if people tell you that it will. People always will give extreme price scenarios because they want other people to buy the coin. Yeah, again, I mentioned this before entering a trade, always ask yourself, how early are you to the trend and how much more viral can it go? All right, so we're gonna go a bit deeper into all this. So what does early mean? So I think it's very important to, if you're going to buy something, to understand what market cap is and how early you might be to something. Market cap is like the best gauge of how early you are to a coin and how risky a coin might be. The earliest you could possibly be to a coin is like when it's created, which is usually like below 10K market cap. This means a coin either was just created or maybe has a few buys. And this is the earliest you could possibly be. Sometimes it's actually really beneficial to be extremely early because there's like the most upside you possibly can have, because the coin can go from 10K to $1 million. And it's also actually like kind of like the least risky in a weird way, because you could buy more of the coin for a cheaper price and your downside risk isn't as high, right? So if a coin starts at 5K market cap, I buy something at 5K market cap, if I'm like the first buyer or third or fourth buyer, like there's not much money I can lose, versus if you buy like a bunch at a higher price, it's easier to lose money. Like you're buying a floor pretty much. It's hard to go below that. It always could go to zero, but it's harder to go below a lower floor. So that's like the earliest you could possibly be, and somehow like a lot of times it's actually like less risky. It is like still much of more of a gamble because it is so early, and that might not even be the coin that takes off, but your downside risk is a little bit less because your floor is like super low. Then you have 50K to 100K market cap. This is like typically before a coin, it's called bonds, graduates and hits just more of the markets. This is still like very early. If you're getting into 50K to 100K, you're still considered very early, in my opinion. And then 100K to 250K is early-ish, and then 250K to 500K, you're like kind of early. You maybe can get like a 2-3x here, depending on like how high things go. 500 to 1 million, you're almost like too late. And then 1 million to 10 million, you're pretty much late at this point in terms of where the market is right now. This all depends on how big the trend is that you're trading. We're assuming it's like we're making this video assuming that you're trying to trade as something that's actually like going pretty viral, or is going to go very viral. These are kind of like market caps to think through. I would say a lot of coins like won't really get past. We'll do some comps and show you like some of the most viral internet trends recently and what their all-time highs were, so you can kind of make like a mental framework for yourself. But this is like a kind of good overview on just like different like levels of earliness. And it's important to know these things so that when people are telling you to buy something, well, let's say it's already at $10 million, just like maybe you might have a second guess and really think for yourself and like see like, okay, like I am kind of late to this. So yeah, just be cautious. Okay, so figuring out when and what to buy, just like overall token discovery and figuring out when to actually buy something. Like I said, the first thing is to understand where you are in attention curve. So once you found a trend or something that was on your reels, or your friend sent it to you, or maybe it was in the news, or a wallet you track bought it, or it came up on your timeline, you ought to think first, like, where are we on the attention curve? Did this meme just launch? Did this trend just launch or is it starting to take off? Will it gain more adoption, or is it already like at peak attention? Is it a trend that hasn't really picked up yet? Will it go more viral? What's the current market cap? Again, like going back to the previous slide, what is the current market cap of this coin? Does the coin versus attention seem mispriced? So there's certain examples of something that you might see all over your TikTok, like as of today, but the coin is sitting at like a 10K market cap or a 20K market cap, and people are kind of starting to talk about it on on Twitter. And so yeah, you gotta think about like, okay, is there an arbitrage opportunity between like what the attention actually is like versus like what the coin is priced at? This is like what I call cultural arbitrage, like finding these arbitrage opportunities between the price of something and what people actually think it's like the actual cultural significance of it. Another thing is like, do you personally have good taste, and do you think other people will find what you find funny? If you have very niche sense of humor, then, and the coin is like very niche, it's likely not going to appeal to mainstream and people on Twitter. It could happen, but it's like probably gonna be too niche. And you gotta think about, right, like meme coins are attention markets, what will actually go the most viral. The other thing is to think about is like, will Twitter find this funny? Like if you see something, you're trying to figure out whether to buy it or not, will crypto Twitter find this joke funny, find this trend interesting or worth buying? And the reason why this is important to think about is because, at least right now, is that majority of on-chain trading and stuff is happening on Twitter. It's not happening on like TikTok and Instagram. This could change, and maybe it does change as more people do start trading meme coins, but at least right now, most of the activity is happening on Twitter. And so like if crypto starts taking off on Twitter, then it's more likely to get more adoption. And in general, always like when you get into a trade, always have a thesis, like kind of like the things I just said, why am I buying this? Can this go more viral? And then think about how high something can realistically go. And we'll go through some coins and comps and stuff that you can look through to understand like how high things can actually really go based off of like different factors. One thing to also keep in mind is that you can be too early. And this kind of sucks. It's like when you buy something super early because you think a trend was going to blow up, and then you were right, but you were too early and you sold it. This actually happened to me with a coin called 6-7. So over the summer, I was very, very early to it. It was on my Instagram Reels a bunch. Like it felt very obvious, but for some reason the coin was only like at a 50K or something market cap. So I bought it super early, and then I sold it because like it wasn't taking off after a few days or even like a week or so. And so I thought it was like over, or like I wasn't gonna catch on crypto Twitter, but it did. And it caught on like maybe like a month or so later, kind of late, and I ended up rebuying and making like a good amount of money on it, but I definitely sold too early, and this can happen to you too. So sometimes you have to wait for your thesis to play out, especially if you're extremely early to a coin. A lot of times it really just does depend on the overall Twitter mindshare and how active the communities are on Twitter. The way you can look this up is if you go on the Hype app, every coin there's like a Twitter socials associated to it. You can click on that, and then there's usually Twitter communities and people talking about the coin and literally posting memes about it. And if the communities are very active, then that's a good sign. Remember that TikTok mindshare is different than Twitter mindshare, two different things. Just because something's going viral on TikTok doesn't mean it's gonna go viral on Twitter. Just because something's going viral on Twitter doesn't mean it's gonna go viral on TikTok. And I would always skew more towards if Twitter will think it's funny. And the arbitrage here is finding something on TikTok before Twitter finds it funny, or finding something super early on Twitter. So yeah, in general, like things have to go mega viral on TikTok to permeate Twitter in order to run to millions. Some examples below are Chill Guy, Italian Brain Rot, Tim Cheese, Chicken Jockey, 6-7. These are things that all went mega viral. You definitely have probably heard of all these memes. If you haven't, then I don't know, like maybe you live under a rock, or you're just like not as brain rot, but you probably heard of these things, you've probably seen these things. And Labubu is another one. But these are all things that went mega viral across social media, across internet culture, and the coin prices kind of reflected the overall significance of it. But this is very important to understand because this will determine how high things can go, and like help you figure out how early you are something, as well as when to sell something. So in general, like what I do is I use other coins as references based off of the current market cap and current liquidity structure in terms of like where the market's at. Because I've been trading for a very long time, like over a year now, like I've seen there's so many patterns that you start to recognize. And I intuitively understand that certain coins will only run to a certain market cap because previous coins that were similar to it also only ran to a certain market cap. And then the other factor to think about is what the current liquidity structure is. What that just means is like how much money is in the current meme coin or on-chain trading ecosystem. Is there tons of money being floating around? Are coins going from 0 to 50 million or 100 million every single day? Are coins going from 0 to only 2 million every single day? Like just monitoring how much liquidity is in the system, how much volume is happening on-chain really can help you like figure out how high things can go. Back in November and December of 2024, things were going very, very high. There was this whole AI boom. And then in January of 2025, Donald Trump launched his meme coin, and that's when it was peak craziness. And so there were like tons of coins going super, super high. There was tons of liquidity. There's tons of activity in the system. That's not there anymore. And so understanding that that is the case means that things will not go past a certain market cap. So yeah, again, the two main things to look at are how high similar coins went to, and then the overall market liquidity. So here are some examples of coins that trends and something you might have known, and the market cap which these ran to. So morning routine, which was like probably one of the most viral things on the internet earlier this year, I think like maybe in March or April, I forgot, that only went to a $20 million market cap. Morning routine was that guy Ashton Hall, who was like doing the morning routine, had Saratoga spring water. But yeah, this is also a point in time in which the market had just been crushed, and so there was actually not much liquidity. So had this event or trend taken off maybe like earlier in the year, it could have gone to like a way higher market cap, maybe like 50 to 100 mil. In this case, it peaked at 20 mil. Italian brain rot was another one. This was going very viral on all my reels. You probably saw this, the whole like tra-la, bombadillo, crocodilo, etc. Italian brain rot characters. And this is one of the most viral things on the internet. It was all over my feed. And the all-time high of that was only $15 million. 6-7, which is the largest internet meme of 2025, that has an all-time high of 25 million. Again, like, this is like the most viral thing right now, the most like popular brain rot, Gen Alpha, Gen Z meme, and it's like everywhere, and it only has all-time high of 25 million. Ice bucket challenge, this is like a bit more niche, but I want to put this example in here as well, because it is an example of something that was more niche. This went to all-time high of 3.1 million. And this was like the challenge of people pouring ice on themselves to raise money for charity. Yeah, I got to a $3.1 million market cap before dying off. Yeah, just always, you can use these as comps. In the Hype app, we actually show you the all-time high of a coin, so you can like actually visually see that this coin had gone to this market cap. And so I recommend actually like researching yourself, like going into the app, typing in trends that you might have like seen in the past or remember from the past, and like looking at the charts, looking at the all-time highs, and just like imprinting those numbers into your head, because it'll be easier for you to like get more intuition around these things. It's also important to know these numbers because people always say, oh, this coin's gonna go to 100 million or 50 million or whatever, but like that's just not the reality as we've seen. Like I think for all of these coins, people are like, oh, this is gonna go to like 10 million or 100 million or 50 million, and it just never like actually plays out that way. So just be careful. It's always better to sell early than it is to like round trip or lose it. So in general, coins are not going past $10 million, especially like trends. There'll be some sort of utility projects that will, but like pure news or trend-based coins are not breaking $10 million. It's very rare. You can find these ceilings, like I said, by looking at coins on the app and like and seeing where all-time highs have hit historically. There could be edge cases where things might go past 10 million, but that's just generally rare from what we're seeing. This also means that you personally probably have very little limited upside if you're buying something over $1 million, because of just like, it has to be extremely viral for it to go past like 10 million right now. So just like keep in mind that going back to how early you are, you'll be kind of early at 250 to 500K, but like at 1 million, you're kind of like somewhat late and you're someone's exit liquidity. Everyone sucks at it. It's actually very easy to buy stuff and find things to buy. The hardest part is selling. It's really hard to know when to sell because you might sell something and the price might go up, and then you'll feel really bad about yourself because you missed out on 100x if you just like didn't sell. But then also on the flip side, you might buy something and then you will sell it too late and you'll lose everything, or you'll lose your money. So it's very hard to time exits. No one's like, literally there's no answer to this. It is a feel thing. It is hard to do. But what I like to do is to always, I put this chart in my head, like this visualization of like a bell curve. And you can think of this as like, this right here is the starting point for a trend or something that's like relevant, right? It's like not that viral yet. You might have found it early, or maybe it's not popping on Twitter yet. Then you have this like parabolic move where it's starting to get attention and adoption, and then boom, it crashes. And meme coin charts might be a lot more sharper than this, but it's some form of this curve, right? It's like like low attention to high attention to no attention. This is also how virality generally works on the internet, right? Like if you see a trend or something that's like relevant on news or on your Instagram reels or stuff that your friends are talking about, you'd likely like attention span of people is so short that you'd probably just move on to the next one, the next thing like a few days later. Very few trends can last for that long. So obviously like you want to sell at the top, but you're never going to time it perfectly. You're never going to buy it perfectly at the bottom. You're probably going to be somewhere around here. What you don't want is to like hold it for too long and hope. I think this also comes with like a lot of repetition. On the Hype app, we also have paper trading, so you can trade with fake money. You don't need to trade with real money. These are some ways to qualitatively know if something is at its peak attention. And I'm also gonna add one more thing here. Oh yeah, so these are peak attention signals. So this is like things that probably mean that you're at peak attention. So one is if you see everyone now posting about this coin on your Twitter timeline. Everyone's talking about it, how it's gonna be the next big thing. It's all over your feed. That's probably, if you were in the coin, you probably should not be, this is not financial advice, but you probably should be like thinking about exiting at that point. If everyone's talking about it, you were early, you did a good job, move on to the next one and sell. If it's like one of the top of the trending coins on the Hype app, if you were early to the coin, this is a good signal that things are starting to pick up volume. Because our trending page is based off of how much volume is happening on a coin. Volume is a good indication of overall interest, because if there's high volume, it means there's a lot of people buying it and selling it. So if it's top of trending in the high value, literally number one thing, you're probably close to relative peak attention. It's not the highest peak attention signal, but it's like, it means that people are starting to like pay attention to this and like look at this coin. It really depends on what the market cap is. It could be trending and continue to go, but just like be careful. If you see P&L screenshots like all over your Twitter timeline, people making 30, 40, 10, 5, 10K and posting screenshots of their P&L cards on Twitter, this also probably means that they're out of the trade or they've taken a significant amount of profits, and it's time to, you probably have hit somewhat of a peak. You can't figure out what could possibly cause meaningful new attention catalyst. I think a good example is the morning routine. So morning routine went pretty viral on Twitter, on Instagram, and that was like peak virality, where everyone was like freaking out, posting themselves doing their morning routines and stuff. At that point, like what else could have been done to make something go more viral than that? It had to be like the president of the United States, either like tweeting it or like Elon Musking his morning routine, or something kind of crazy for it to go any higher than that, right? So this is an example of like, okay, like if you can't figure out something that meaningfully and realistically can cause more attention on this coin, then you're probably at peak attention, right? Like you can always imagine like the most craziest scenarios that might happen. Like maybe it's like Elon Musk tweet, or maybe the president Donald Trump like posts the meme, or the White House does. And if that did happen, that literally would be the peak and you should be selling. Google Trends is another really good indicator of like virality. It's a good signal. Like if something was not really trending on Google Trends and all of a sudden it's at a score of super high, like 99 or something, like you're probably close to the peak attention on that thing. And that's another like a resource you can use for figuring out what to sell. So like, bringing back like 6, 7 or the morning routine or whatever, if we look at Google Trends, let's actually do this right now. I will open up Google Trends. Let's do morning routine. All right, so this was the morning routine interest over time. I would assume this is like right when Ashton Hall posted the morning routine video and like had peak attention, and it dropped off. So this is an example, ice bucket challenge. Again, like you have this sharp spike and then no one cares. So this is like a good resource to look at like overall attention trends and things like that, because this is based off of overall search interest. And like those were not the best graphs, because like those are so back in time, and I wish I had better examples to show you. All right, so that is the slides I prepared. This is hopefully like a good presentation for you guys to reference if you're looking to trade trends and understand how to make money trading trends. Again, remember, like, yeah, you can get a ton of money, you can also lose a bunch of money. I've made a bunch of money, I've also lost a bunch of money. So it really all comes down to buying with good entries and exiting properly. It's very simple, but very hard to execute. But yeah, hopefully these are like helpful mental models on how to think about trading trends. And last thing I'll say is I don't really think you need fancy setups for this. I think like the Hype mobile app should be like perfectly fine to allow you to trade these things. You don't need like to have crazy desktop setups and like all these like crazy gadgets. Like be terminally online, have Twitter, have TikTok, have a friend group that you're gonna trade with, and have something to trade with. It could be Hype, it could be another like crypto wallet, whatever you want to use. But this trading trends is all about being terminally online and being early to internet trends, and being really good at knowing how viral something can go. This means that you have to have like a pretty good sense of culture, pretty good sense of like human psychology and taste. So if that's something that you feel like you're like good at, then this is like a really cool way to make money on the internet. And remember, not everything is going to go viral and pop off. Like sometimes things randomly just won't take off. But from what I have seen, if a meme is truly viral, like if it is everywhere, like for example, Chill Guy 67, Italian Brain Rot, Tim Cheese, there's even a John Pork coin, Jip Chicken Jockey. Like if something is going mega viral, the odds are that like there is a meme coin that probably did pretty well for it, at least hit over $1 million market cap. And your job is to find these things before they go mega viral, or if there's like an arbitrage opportunity between what's going viral on TikTok and then what's actually happening on crypto, Twitter, and the coin price. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed.